First time playing. Yeah, Board Game Arena. Yeah. All right. Each player will be dealt 4 pawns of the same color as the player color and will be placed at the starting point of the board. The starting player will be decided at random. And it's me. Let's see, I need to... Alright, that's good enough. Alright.
So part of this...
Oh, so... Also... I don't... one sec. I don't know if captured pawns go back to the start or not. So let me just read these rules. Alright. Game flow. On your turn, roll 2 dice and move your pawn according to the roll. Many squares are drawn in a circle on the board, but the conditions must be met in order to proceed to the inner circle. The sooner you can reach the center of the board, the more victory points you will get. When your pawn stops in the same square as another player's pawn, you can eliminate the other player's pawn. So, yeah, I think it just gets eliminated instead of going back to the home starting square. Also, if another owned pawn stops in a square where your own pawn is already placed, they will coalesce and you will be able to move more efficiently. By making full use of these, we aim to get as many victory points as possible. Play. When it's your turn, 2 dice are rolled. Then move 1 or 2 of your own pawns, depending on the outcome of each die. For example, suppose the die rolls a 5 and 4. At this time, you can choose either move the first pawn by 5 and then move the other pawn by 4, or move 1 pawn by 4 plus 5, 9 squares. Important, the player must move the pawn exactly as much as the die roll. For example, you can't stop on a moving only 3 for a roll of 5. When the starting player finishes moving, the turn moves clockwise, to the next player. This repeats until the end of the game. Condition is met. All right. Bear with me here as I read more rules. Rules of movement. Restrictions on pawning from home. As a rule, when moving a pawn, there is a restriction when pawning from home. If you want to pawn from the home, you must reach the first square of the outermost circle with a single move. For example, the pawn on the innermost side of the home, can reach the first square on any of the rolls 1 through 6, but the last pawn, the pawn on the outermost side of the home, the pawn can only reach the first square with a roll of a 4 or higher. That is, you cannot get out of the home and you cannot move it. So okay, that makes more sense to me. The first one out of your home base can just get out, but the last one has to get all the way out as a move. So it has to have a 4 or more. I don't think that should be much of a problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Passing the bridge. Those are the circle things to get in the middle. All right. In the circle, the pawn moves counterclockwise. There are some special squares, 2 colored squares in the circle. In this square, the pawn can move through the bridge to the inner circle. To move to the inner circle, you must first stop the pawn at this square. Then the next move will move you to the inner circle. In other words, it takes 2 moves to pass through the bridge and move to the inner circle. Stops exactly on the 2 colored square and then move inward. All right. There's a little bit more here. Double pawn. By stacking 2 of your own pawns, you can treat them as 1 pawn. Up to 2 can be stacked. This stacked pawn is called a double pawn. To make a double pawn, you must just move your pawn to the square where your other pawn is located. By doing this, these 2 pawns can be stacked into a double pawn and can be moved as a single pawn. Double pawns can be disassembled by moving only one of the stacked pawns. If you do this, the other pawn will remain in place. Cool. Pawn capture. Capture your opponent's pawn by just stopping your pawn or double pawn on the square where your opponent's pawn is located. The capture pawn will be removed from the game and will no longer be available. The pawns that can be captured are as follows. Double pawns can capture single pawns. Double pawns can also capture double pawns, and single pawns cannot capture double pawns. Each time you capture a pawn, the captured player gets one victory point. Players who have captured a pawn lose 1 victory point. Note that the lower limit of victory points is not 0. So you could be negative, I guess. Center mass. If you can pawn in the center square, in the center of the board, you will get victory points. To put a pawn in the center mass, the following conditions must be met. Your pawn is snug on one of the bridges on the innermost circle. Okay. Okay, so it shows how many points are in one of those. All right. You have a 1 roll because you have to move just the number of the die on the dice roll. Okay. The owner of the pawn who is able to enter the center mass first gets 5 victory points. Similarly, the second will get 4, the third will get 3, fourth will get 2, the fifth will get 1 victory point. If a double pawn enters the center square, you can place each of the 2 pawns in the center square and score victory points for each pawn. If there is space in the center square, okay, well I read that oddly, but if there's space in the center square, if there are no more than 1 empty space in the center square, only 1 will be placed in the center square, and victory points will only be earned from 1 pawn. The game ends immediately if any of the following conditions are met. There is no spaces in the center mass. There are no more available pawns, The player with the highest total victory points wins the game. If there's a tie, the player who pawns into the center square earlier is the winner. All right. So this is our first time playing. It's my turn. It says I must select a pawn. All right. I'm ready.
The only thing that I'm a little bit annoyed with by this setup is they have the dice at the bottom. They could have put the dice on the side.
Okay.
And just made them a little bit smaller.
I just did a control minus and the dice went to the side.
Oh. Hey, there we go. Sweet.
That actually helps my board size a little bit.
Almost
So I must.
you
Must select a pawn. Oh. Well, I didn't see my first die move, and I just picked the second one, hoping that would get out. So I'm glad it wasn't completely a horrible move. Pretty low dice. All right, so they have to. So are they moving? Are they? Do you know which way they move? Can I say that?
Counterclockwise.
Cool.
Oh. It's a me.
Even though those rules were long, it seems easy enough. 3 and 3. All right. Let's go. Okay. This is a cool game board. gonna be interesting to see like how we meet up, or if we do. But it seems like a pretty cool game board. The rules will be in the description. Board Game Arena will be in the description. Whatever. Everything useful. Playlist. Alright, so I'm going to try to move down. Is there any... I think it's just...
Yeah, you'll be able to go 3 or 6 when you move down.
Okay.
You can technically move down too.
No, it's saying I can't move down right now. It's saying... Well, it's giving me the options, and it's not having the down move.
Oh, weird.
Let me read that again. In this circle, the pawn moves kind of... There are some special squares. Let's first stop the pawn at this square.
Special space, and only then...
Yeah, I already did stop, right? Or am I near to stop at the next one?
In the same turn, if the pawn landed on the special place within the first slot.
I think you can only go down the ladder if you land on it and can move on the same turn.
Mm-hmm.
If I land on it and then move again on the same turn. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, correct. I believe so.
Oh, that is a shame. Okay. I guess I should not have done that.
You want to stack all of them?
It's you can only stack 2.
I'm moving my gigantic stack of 6 all the way to 5-10 points.
So I need a 4. 1, 2. 4 and something else. You learn on the path.
To my ears.
Wait, you already moved?
No! I see it's not letting me move down.
Maybe because they're stacked?
Ah.
I can try moving 1. Yep. So that might have been the problem with the other one. But I don't know. Oh, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't think it said anything about a stack moving. Stack.
Too bad I didn't have a third die.
-1.
Yeah, one of my pawns got captured. Damn.
Oh, damn. The inner circle.
You can call me.
I won't.
Good.
Where am I? Of course. Okay, I'm seeing 3 of mine. 1. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's not
I
good.
have a question, Travis. You read the directions, so maybe you know this.
Okay.
There are 6 different entry points for this final 5 sets of points.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter which one I go in?
I don't think so. It's just the first player gets 5 points.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I was thinking that I had to go to a specific one. Right, I totally do.
Losing track of mine. That's not good. God, where even are we?
I will say, I wish they'd made it blue, green, and some color other than red.
You tell me.
Colors are a little bit difficult.
Yeah, mine hard. I've been looking for my pieces each time. I'm like, where?
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, they should have gone with
Or
other colors that are not the.
what would be nice is when I was looking this up on the internet to try and find the rules, they have like a wooden version.
I know color things are tricky on the internet because of like colorblind. Like they try to make colors, useful for even colorblind people, but yeah, the red's definitely a little difficult to see right now. Oh boy.
Not cool.
Yay! Something moved to server.
Nice.
5 points.
Don't like that you permanently lose your pawns.
Yeah.
Like I lost 2 pawns and it just.
So your chances of
Yeah.
being able to do anything is just completely pointless. Yeah.
If it was the 2 of you who lost 2 pawns,
Then I wouldn't have any
I
problem.
would be completely fine with that. That's me. Come on, MangoTownMatt.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I thought I'd used up my entire move by moving to that.
It goes 1 by 1. You have to do.
Okay.
With the winning conditioning being only 5 in the middle, pawns being captured kind of makes sense. With only 5 being in the middle, if they get put back to home, I think there's little chance that they would be one of the first 5 at a point. don't know. Yeah, that's still our first time. So whoever's gonna get the one first? Oh snap! Coming for me.
I'm gonna get shot.
Man, he's not helping.
Well, I was going to use it to try and go down, but you know what?
Nice.
Yeah,
Back down to 0.
leveling the playing field.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my god. Oh my. Oh. Devastating.
At least you don't have to think much for your moves. You don't have much choice. Oh yes.
You're only 3 points off right now. I don't know around anywhere.
Great.
Alright. Double.
Ah. Nice. Damn it. So, where's my... Okay, so one's captured, 2 are on the board, one's in the middle. Alright.
Go.
I'll avenge you. Oh, great visit.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun just staying around the outside, isn't it? Is it just moving?
Come on, Snake Eyes. The only thing that they didn't think about is like if I get both of these in, like it's just the game becomes super duper boring for the last like 15 to 20 minutes.
Right? It's boring for me. I'm just going around.
Yeah, I almost feel like one thing that would improve this game would be if it, instead of circles, it was a spiral all the way in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would help. So at least you're not just staying around the outside for the entire time.
Oh. I understand why they would do it the way that they do it, but
Oh boy.
you're telling me.
Yeah, that's risky. Wow.
Can a brother get a one? Aging all ones.
There you go.
Finally.
So yeah, even if I got one next, I would have 8, and yeah, I mean, I guess in person you could definitely just tell if the game's over. I mean, like at this point. Oh, yep. Hey, well that changed it.
I can vote to end or continue. Cool. No, apparently I can't.
I can. Oh, well, I just pushed it, and it said vote to end or continue, and I just pushed the button, and it just went away. All right. I mean, we can't. You want to stop?
Yes.
All players, yeah, all players may vote.
Oh, all players are really cool.
What?
It says on the right-hand side, all players may vote to end the game. I'm guessing on their turn. So you vote, you need to play, and then I can vote to end the game.
Okay. I think there was just one button for me. It said vote or end the game, and I just clicked the one button and then it went away. I could be wrong, but
I think Renaud was on that.
Yeah.
there's a quick game on the top right. Oh, there we go. Cool. I like it enough to at least try it again. I think at least for the first time, I like talk more out of the game that seemed similar. Yeah, I like it enough to try it again. So let's try it once more.
Yeah, definitely.